give you a little overview about this event and what's going on. This is a partnership, truthfully, between 3 organizations. 2 of them are taking the lead, and 1 has been a great support organization. The 2 that are leading here are the Community and Family Engagement Office, as Superintendent Dannals mentioned. It's a part of the district. Terry Cicero, Jonathan Bishop lead that particular office as it regards to faith-based. And the idea for them is to create partnerships between faith communities. It's not Christian only. They all work with any faith community to create partnerships to go into schools. At this point, we, who are the body of Christ, have risen up quickly to decide to walk in and be a part of this. It's still a slow process. As you see, there are not as many numbers in people here today. So the question becomes, how come we're missing so many groups that could be a part of this, that could have a heart for this, who could be helping these children? We're going to continue to reach out beyond this event today. This is the start of where we are. The Community and Family Engagement Office, we'll talk about a little more, is there to be a support system for those partnerships. It's to be a liaison between the faith and the churches and the schools. It allows you to have some leverage when emails come from the Community and Family Engagement Office to principals versus you, who just may be somebody out in the community that nobody knows yet. And so that is the benefit of the faith-based and the Community and Family Engagement Office. And again, we'll talk more about that. The other group, which is the First Coast Global Day of Prayer. For those of you that were part of that on June 11th, it was an outstanding, amazing, terrific, wonderful, great, super delicious, just absolutely anointed. I've run out of adjectives to describe how wonderful that evening was. And an opportunity to have the body come together, all races, all denominations, and celebrate the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And Global Day of Prayer has got rage and rants because people were not just great about the event, they felt God that day. I believe that our leadership, who I do want to acknowledge is here today, helped to orchestrate that so that that would be a launch for us into the 9 days of blessing and beyond, which is a component of the Global Day of Prayer. And I do want to acknowledge Father Peter Church, who's part of the leadership there, and Charlie Christie, again, who are part of the leadership there. I don't see Jim. Okay. But they have done a wonderful job over the last year and a half of putting that together. Charlie and Father Peter invited me in to be a part of the 9 days of blessing and beyond. Charlie and I met and we had lunch at Chick-fil-A, and I think I pushed Charlie out of the chair with my zeal for community development and what I thought we should do and how I thought we should have an impact. He kind of looked at me and said, I want you to come to a meeting. He made me in good. I want you to come to a meeting. Got to the meeting. He got to the meeting. He said, I think I got something for you to do. I said, sure, man, I'd love to help. You know, this is God's work. I want you to run this organization, this piece called 9 Days of Blessing and Beyond. What's that, Charlie? So he laid it out. It was wonderful. And I've been excited and had a wonderful year working as a part of 9 Days of Blessing. When this started in South Africa, Global Day of Prayer, their intent was to leave the prayer event and then affect the poor, the needy in the community. And when we got to America, to Jacksonville, and they gave it to me, I said, you know, we've got to slightly give a different message. We want to be involved. We want people to know that we're involved for more than just 90 days. And so we adjusted the name to 90 Days and Beyond to say that this is not just starting. We know that here in Jacksonville and the First Coast, our work will not be done in 90 days. And so we're excited about that. What's happened since I've come on board and worked with the leadership is we kind of created a 4-phase outlook on 90 Days of Blessing and Beyond. And phase 1 is Adopt Your Street. And a good friend of mine, Tom McLeod, has been spearheading that for over a year. And I have jumped on board to help with Tom. If you have not signed up to Adopt Your Street, we will have information for you to find out about that. It is a continuing process. Almost 10,000 streets in Jacksonville, and we want to see all 10,000 adopted. The next phase became community partnerships. And so we prayed and looked and said, how do we, as the body of Christ, begin to impact the community in partnerships? And as we went through what seemed to surface and we felt like God brought up was schools. We saw everywhere we turned. We saw the concern. We saw the budget issues. We saw the intervening issues. We saw so many things. We said, you know, why don't we just continue this idea of getting involved in our schools? We need more community and faith involvement. And so we looked around and said, well, how do we do it? What do we do? And again, after prayer and some more deliberation and counsel, we said we need to target specific schools and say to the faith and the Christian community, let's go into these schools and make a difference. Amen. And some of you, as I look around the room, I know you've got partnerships already. And you're seeing the results of what we're talking about. You're seeing the results of the hard work, the labor, that as the Christian community has walked into those schools and went to serve. Not to evangelize, not to grow your Sunday school, not to grow your church, but to serve for the academic purposes of those students. And the community, we've seen tremendous return on our investment. And so I'm excited about the chance now to begin a process to partner. And we focused on 14 schools. Many of those schools are here. They'll be lined up outside. That we want you to begin to get some partnership. Now, I had a discussion. I want to go back on this. When we announced this, we kind of announced it for pastors and ministry leaders. That was because the way the process is set up right now, we could not just handle everybody that wanted to walk in partnership. But this is what I want to say, because I know I got some emails from folks that said, listen, I'm not a pastor or minister, I just want to be there. I felt called and pulled. If you are here today, and it's just you, or you know you can go and get 5 other people, you become a group of Christians who can go into these schools and partner. I do not want you to leave here today, and you know you have a burden or a pull on you to get involved in one of these schools, or in any school in this district, and you don't do it because you're not a pastor or a ministry leader. This is the opportunity for you to connect with the Community and Family Engagement Office and get help in creating a partnership. There are plenty of people sitting here where it was one person that started, and then they called a friend and told their friend what they were doing. And they called some more friends, and it grew, and the partnership grew. And then it went from just showing up a mentor or helping in lunch, cafeteria during lunch, to now we mentor 5 kids. Then that grew to, we started bringing special lunches certain times as teachers. You know, partnerships have grown in numerous ways over time. Some of you have partnerships, or want to have partnerships after school, where you can have a little more freedom to share the gospel and be a little more evangelistic. And we're here to help with that, particularly after school or before school, just not during the school day. And so we're excited about what's going to come out of this event and beyond, as we partner with those 14 schools. At this point, I've got 3 groups here sitting on our panel that I want to introduce. We're going to have an opportunity to hear some of their story, what they're doing in their church, how their church got started, and then some of the impact that their church has already seen from their partnerships. And so we wanted to highlight and show that as much as we say or complain or have concerns about what is the body of Christ doing, there are numerous partners within this city that are wonderful. Superintendent Dannals didn't even share that his school has a wonderful partnership with mentoring. And it's under the radar. A lot of folks don't know about it. But his school has his church, has a wonderful partnership with mentoring with 2 different schools. Where they go in and they're there and involved. And so many of us will get involved at different levels.